Welcome, everybody. This is Alan with Daily Armour of God. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're all doing well. This is Reading the Old Testament chronologically in 111 days. We're on day 90. Today we'll be continuing through Jeremiah. We'll be reading chapter 19 to start. So let's get started here. In verse 1, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Go and get a potter's earthen bottle, and take of the ancients of the people and of the ancients of the priests, and go forth into the valley of the son of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the east gate, and proclaim there the words that I shall tell thee. And say, Hear ye the word of Yahweh, O kings of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever heareth his ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me, and have estranged this place, and have burned incense in it unto other gods, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocents. They have built also the high places of Baal, to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, which I commanded not, nor spake it, neither came it into my mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. And I will make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem in this place, and I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies, and by the hands of them that seek their lives, and their carcasses will I give to be meat for the fowls of heaven, and for the beasts of the earth. And I will make this city desolate, and a hissing, every one that passeth by, thereby shall be astonished, and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straitness wherewith their enemies, and that they that seek their lives shall straiten them. Yeah, pretty much everything that God's saying to Jeremiah here to proclaim is basically what does happen. This is prophecy, but it actually happens. We find out later that in the siege, the siege of Jerusalem, they starve and they start eating people. Yes, and they start dying from diseases. And eventually, they start dying from the sword once the enemies get inside the gates. And a lot of them get killed, but a lot of them get captured and taken away. And the whole city gets destroyed. Continuing on. Then shalt thou break the bottle in the sight of the men that go with thee, and shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Even so will I break this people in this city, as one breaketh a potter's vessel, that cannot be made whole again, and they shall bury them in Tophet, till there be no place to bury. Thus will I do unto this place, saith Yahweh, and to the inhabitants thereof, and even make this city as Tophet. And the houses of Jerusalem and the houses of the kings of Judah shall be defiled as the place of Tophet, because of all the houses upon whose roofs they have burned incense unto all the hosts of heaven, and have poured out drink offerings unto other gods. Then came Jeremiah from Tophet, whither the Lord had sent him to prophesy, and he stood in the court of Yahweh's house, and said to all the people, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring upon this city, and upon all her towns, all the evil that I have pronounced against it, because they have hardened their necks, that they might not hear my words. Jeremiah 20. Now Pashur, the son of Immer, the priest, who was also chief governor in the house of Yahweh, heard that Jeremiah prophesied these things. Then Pashur smote Jeremiah the prophet, and put him in the stocks that were in the high gate of Benjamin, which was by the house of Yahweh. Yet people hate the truth. They hate the truth. And it came to pass on the morrow that Pashur brought forth Jeremiah out of the stocks. Then said Jeremiah unto him, Yahweh hath not called thy name Pashur, but Magar-Missabib. For thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will make thee a terror to thyself and to all thy friends, and they shall fall by the sword of their enemies, and thine eyes shall behold it. And I will give all Judah into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall carry them captive into Babylon, and shall slay them with the sword. Moreover, I will deliver all the strength of this city, and all the laborers thereof, and all the precious things thereof, and all the treasures of the kings of Judah will I give into the hand of their enemies, which shall spoil them, and take them, and carry them to Babylon. And thou, Pashur, and all that dwell in thine house shall go into captivity, and thou shalt come to Babylon, and there thou shalt die, and shalt be buried there, thou and thy friends to whom thou hast prophesied lies. O Lord, thou hast delivered me, and I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and hast prevailed. I am in derision daily. Every one mocketh me. For since I spake, I cried out. I cried violence and spoil, because the word of Yahweh was made a reproach unto me, and a derision daily. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in mine heart as a burning fire, shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report, say they, and we will report it. All my familiars watched for my halting, saying, Peradventure he will be enticed, and we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge on him. But Yahweh is with me as a mighty terrible one. Therefore my persecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed, for they shall not prosper. Their everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten. But, O Yahweh of hosts, that triest the righteous and seest the reins in heart, let me see thy vengeance on them. For unto thee have I opened my cause. Sing unto Yahweh, praise ye Yahweh, for he hath delivered the soul of the poor from the hand of evildoers. Cursed be the day wherein I was born, let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed. Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying, A man-child is born unto thee, making him very glad. And let that man be as the cities which Yahweh overthrew and repented not, and let him hear the cry in the morning, and the shouting at noontide. Because he slew me not from the womb, or that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to always be great with me. Wherefore came I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame. So we see here a little bit of Jeremiah's character, and it sounds oddly familiar to Job. Job was suffering, and trying to work through what he was going through. Same here with Jeremiah. Jeremiah is just trying to do what God is telling him to do and to say. And he's getting persecuted. He's getting, tormented, put in the stocks, and he's going to be put into prison many times, and beaten many times, and cursed many times. And so, it's kind of like in today's world, when bad things happen to us as Christians, we're like, why is this happening to me? I'm just trying to do what the Lord wants me to do. I'm trying to figure out what the Lord wants me to do. Why are these things happening to me? And we may never get the answers. God may reveal the answers to us in time. It's up to him. But the point is that we need to rely solely on God. There is always a reason with God. We're going through a trial or tribulation or persecution for a reason. It's not in vain. So we need to keep trusting God even through the bad times. And, even the Bible says to give thanks in all situations, even the bad ones. We're not thanking God for the bad situation necessarily, but we're thanking him that he is with us, because the Bible says he'll never leave us nor forsake us. The Bible says in Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. So that's a very important verse. Trusting the Lord with all your heart, not just with your mouth, not just with your mind, but with your heart. And not trying to lean on your understanding, not trying to gain understanding. We may never get the understanding. The important thing is we're trusting fully in God, because God has what's best for us in store. He is our Father. He is our Father. He wants to give us the best. So we need to keep trusting that God has a plan and a reason for the pain we're going through, whatever it may be. And we need to keep trusting in God with all our hearts, no matter how hard it is. And trust me, it is hard. It is so hard, because we are human. And, sometimes when we're going through pain, it's hard for us to put those pieces together. Like, I'm trusting the Lord. It's tough. It is. I never said it was going to be easy. And it's most certainly tough, but we need to keep striving to trust in the Lord with all our hearts, and not to lean on our understanding or try to gain understanding in every single situation, try to gain control. No, God is in control. God is in control, not us. So give it up to God. That's the only way we can make it through the pains and difficulties of life, is to give it up to God. Lay it all at Jesus' feet. Lay it all at the throne of God. They say, Lord, I'm not strong enough. You're strong enough. You are my Father, and I'm trusting you to help me in your timing and in your will, obviously. So that's how our mindset must be, trusting in the Lord. Literally reading that verse in Proverbs 3:5, taking it exactly how it says it in the Word. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and leaning not on your own understanding. So, continuing on, Jeremiah 21. The word which came unto Jeremiah from Yahweh when King Zedekiah sent unto him Pashur the son of Micaiah and Zephaniah the son of Maaseiah the priest, saying, Enquire, I pray thee, of Yahweh for us, for Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon maketh war against us. If so be that Yahweh will deal with us according to all his wondrous works, that he may go up from us. Then said Jeremiah unto them, Thus shall ye say to Zedekiah, Thus saith Yahweh God of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, wherewith ye fight against the king of Babylon and against the Chaldeans, which besiege you without the walls, and I will assemble them in the midst of the city. And I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath. And I will smite the inhabitants of the city, both man and beast. They shall die of a great pestilence. And afterwards, saith Yahweh, I will deliver Zedekiah king of Judah and his servants and the people, and such as are left in the city from the pestilence and from the sword and from the famine, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those that seek their life, and he shall smite them with the edge of the sword. He shall not spare them, neither have pity, nor have mercy. And unto this people thou shalt say, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will set before you the way of life and the way of death. He that abideth in this city shall die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he that goeth out and falleth to the Chaldeans that besiege you, he shall live, and his life shall be unto him for a prey. For I have set my face against this city for evil, and not for good, saith Yahweh. It shall be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire. And touching the house of the king of Judah, say, Hear ye the word of Yahweh. O house of David, thus saith Yahweh, Execute judgment in the morning, and deliver him that is spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, lest my fury go out like fire, and burn, that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings. Behold, I am against thee, O inhabitant of the valley, and rock of the plain, saith Yahweh, which say, Who shall come down against us, or who shall enter into our habitations? But I will punish you according to the fruit of your doings, saith Yahweh, and I will kindle a fire in the forest thereof, and it shall devour all things round about it. Isn't it interesting how the king was like, Oh, inquire for us to the Lord about, helping us with King Nebuchadnezzar. How about you ask the other gods, little g gods, the false gods, the idols that you guys worship? How about asking them for help? It's like, you know, of course they turn to God when they really want something, but when they don't really want something from God, they're just like, yeah, I'm going to serve these other gods. They're so back and forth. Two-faced, almost. Well, no, it is. So, and God made it crystal clear here. Now, this city will burn. People will die by the pestilence, by famine, by sword, or taken captured to Babylon and made slaves. All right, Jeremiah 22. Thus saith Yahweh, Go down to the house of the king of Judah, and speak there this word, and say, Hear ye the word of Yahweh, O king of Judah, that sittest upon the throne of David, thou and thy servants and thy people that enter in by these gates. Thus saith Yahweh, Execute ye judgment in righteousness, and deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, and do no wrong, do no violence to the stranger, the fatherless, nor the widow, neither shed innocent blood in this place. For if ye do this thing indeed, then shall there enter in by the gates of this house kings sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, he and his servants and his people. But if ye will not hear these words, I swear by myself, saith Yahweh, that this house shall become a desolation. For thus saith Yahweh unto the king's house of Judah, Thou art glebe unto me in the head of Lebanon. Yet surely I will make thee a wilderness, and cities which are not inhabited, And I will prepare destroyers against thee, every one with his weapons, and they shall cut down thy choice cedars, and cast them into the fire. And many nations shall pass by this city, and they shall say every man to his neighbor, Wherefore hath Yahweh done this unto this great city? Then shall they answer, Because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahweh their God, and worshipped other gods, and served them. Weep ye not for the dead, neither bemoan him, but weep sore for him that goeth away, for he shall return no more, nor see his native country. For thus saith Yahweh touching Shalom the son of Josiah king of Judah, which reigned instead of Josiah his father, which went forth out of his place, he shall not return thither any more, but he shall die in the place whither they have led him captive, and he shall see this land no more. Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbour's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. That saith, I will build me a wide house, and large chambers, and cutteth him out windows, and it is sealed with cedar, and painted with vermilion. Shalt thou reign, because thou closest thyself in cedar? Did not thy father eat and drink, and do judgment and justice, and then it was well with him? He judged the cause of the poor and needy, then it was well with him. Was not this to know me, saith Yahweh? But thine eyes and thine heart are not but for thy covetousness, and for to shed innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence to do it. Therefore thus saith Yahweh concerning Jehoiakim the son of Josiah king of Judah, They shall not lament for him, saying, Ah, my brother, or Ah, sister. They shall not lament for him, saying, Ah, Lord, or Ah, his glory. He shall be buried with the burial of an ass, drawn and cast forth beyond the gates of Jerusalem. Go up to Lebanon and cry, and lift up thy voice in Bashan, and cry from the passages, for all thy lovers are destroyed. I spake unto thee in thy prosperity, but thou saidst, I will not hear. This hath been thy manner from thy youth, that thou obeyest not my voice. The wind shall eat up all thy pastors, and thy lovers shall go into captivity. Surely then thou shalt be ashamed and confounded for all thy wickedness. O inhabitant of Lebanon, that makest thy nest in the cedars, how gracious shalt thou be when pangs come upon thee, the pain as of a woman in travail. As I live, saith Yahweh, though Coniah the son of Jehoiakim king of Judah were the signet upon my right hand, yet would I pluck thee thence. I will give thee into the hand of them that seek thy life, and into the hand of them whose face thou fearest, even into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. And I will cast thee out, and thy mother that bare thee, into another country where ye were not born, and there shall ye die. But to the land whereunto they desire to return, thither shall they not return. Is this man Coniah a despised broken idol? Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not? O earth, 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 hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh, Write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David, and ruling any more in Judah. Jeremiah 23. Woe be unto the pastors that are destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith Yahweh. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, Ye have scattered my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith Yahweh. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahweh. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. The Lord our righteousness. Amen. Amen to that. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all the countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Mine heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because of Yahweh, and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of adulterers. For because of swearing the land mourneth, the pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right. For both prophet and priest are profane, yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, saith Yahweh. Wherefore their way shall be unto them a slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on, and fall therein, for I will bring evil upon them even the year of their visitation, saith Yahweh. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesied in Baal. They caused my people Israel to err. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem a horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doth return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah. Therefore thus saith Yahweh of hosts concerning the prophets, Behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink of the water of gall. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of Yahweh. They say still unto them that despise me, Yahweh hath said, Ye shall have peace. And they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, No evil shall come upon you. For who hath stood in the counsel of Yahweh, and hath perceived and heard his word? Who hath marked his word and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of Yahweh is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. And anger of Yahweh shall not return until he hath executed, until he hath performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel, and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned from them from their evil way, and from the evil of their doings. Am I a God at hand, saith Yahweh, and not a God afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, saith Yahweh? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith Yahweh? I have heard what the prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbors, as the fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. The prophet that hath a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that hath my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, saith Yahweh? Is not my word like as a fire, saith Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith Yahweh, that steal my words every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, saith Yahweh, that use their tongues and say, He saith. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith Yahweh, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them, therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith Yahweh. And when this people, or the prophet, or a priest shall ask thee, saying, What is the burden of Yahweh? Thou shalt then say unto them, What burden? I will even forsake you, saith Yahweh. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, The burden of Yahweh, I will even punish that man in his house. Thus shall ye say every one to his neighbor, and every one to his brother, What hath Yahweh answered? And what hath Yahweh spoken? And the burden of Yahweh shall ye mention no more, for every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted the words of the living God, of Yahweh of hosts, our God. Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, What hath Yahweh answered thee? And what hath Yahweh spoken? But since ye say, The burden of Yahweh, therefore thus saith Yahweh, because ye say this word, the burden of Yahweh, and I have sent unto you, saying, Ye shall not say, the burden of Yahweh. Therefore, behold, I, even I, will utterly forget you, and will forsake you, and the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame, which shall not be forgotten. Jeremiah 24. Yahweh showed me, and behold, 2 baskets of figs were set before the temple of Yahweh. After that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon had carried away captive Jeconiah the son of Jehoiakim king of Judah, and the princes of Judah with the carpenters and smiths from Jerusalem, and had brought them to Babylon. One basket had very good figs, even like the figs that are first ripe. The other basket had very naughty figs, which could not be eaten, they were so bad. Then said Yahweh unto me, What seest thou, Jeremiah? And I said, Figs, the good figs, very good, and the evil, very evil, that cannot be eaten, they are so evil. Again the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, the God of Israel, Like these good figs, so will I acknowledge them that are carried away captive of Judah, whom I have sent out of this place into the land of the Chaldeans for their good. For I will set mine eyes upon them for good, and I will bring them again to this land, and I will build them and not pull them down, and I will plant them and not pluck them up, and I will give them a heart to know me, that I am Yahweh, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God, for they shall return unto me with their whole heart. And as the evil figs which cannot be eaten, they are so evil, surely thus saith Yahweh, so will I give Zedekiah the king of Judah, and his princes, and the residue of Jerusalem, that remain in this land, and them that dwell in the land of Egypt, and I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, for their hurt, to be a reproach, and a proverb, and a taunt, and a curse, in all the places whither I shall drive them. And I will send the sword, the famine, and the pestilence among them, till they be consumed from off the land that I gave them unto them and to their fathers. Jeremiah 25. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, that was the 1st year of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, the which Jeremiah the prophet spake unto all the people of Judah and to all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, From the 13th year of Josiah the son of Ammon king of Judah, even to this day, that is the 23rd year, the word of Yahweh hath come unto me, and I have spoken unto you, rising early and speaking, but ye have not hearkened. And Yahweh hath sent unto you all his servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened, nor inclined your ear to hear. They said, Turn ye again now every one from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that Yahweh hath given unto you, and to your fathers, for ever and ever. And go not after other gods to serve them, and to worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith Yahweh, that ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands, to your own hurt. Therefore thus saith Yahweh of hosts, because ye have not heard my words, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith Yahweh, and Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon, my servant, will bring them against this land, and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment, and a hissing, and a perpetual desolations. Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, and the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of millstones, and the light of the candle. And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. And it shall come to pass, when 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish the king of Babylon, and that nation, saith Yahweh, for their iniquity in the land of the Chaldeans, and I will make it perpetual desolations. Yeah, so they're going to be in captivity for 70 years. And God's like, yeah, God is using the Babylonians and the Chaldeans to punish Jerusalem. But it says here that he's going to punish them because they're not innocent at all. No, they're not. They're heathen nation. They worship other gods. They do abominations. So he's going to punish them as well and make them perpetual desolations. Yep. So true. And it happens. And I'll bring upon that land all my words which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah hath prophesied against all the nations. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds, and according to the works of their own hands. For thus saith Yahweh, God of Israel, unto me, Take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. And they shall drink and be moved, and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at Yahweh's hand, and made all the nations to drink unto whom Yahweh had sent me, to wit, Jerusalem, and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation, and astonishment, and hissing, and a curse, as it is this day. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azza, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom, and Moab, and the children of Ammon, and all the kings of Tyrus, and the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan, and Tema, and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners, and all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, and all the kings of Zimri, and the kings of Elam, and the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth, and the kings of Sheshach shall drink after them. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, Drink ye and be drunken, and spew, and fall, and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Ye shall certainly drink. For lo, I begin to bring evil on this city which is called by my name, and should be utterly unpunished. And should ye be utterly unpunished? Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith Yahweh of hosts. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, Yahweh shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar up upon his habitation. He shall give a shout, as they that tread the grapes, against all the inhabitants of the earth. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for Yahweh hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of Yahweh shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried, they shall be dung upon the ground. Howl, ye shepherds, and cry, and wallow yourselves in the ashes, ye principal of the flock. For the days of your slaughter and of your dispersions are accomplished, and ye shall fall like the pleasant vessel. And the shepherds shall have no way to flee, nor the principal of the flock to escape. A voice of the cry of the shepherds, and a howling of the principal of the flock shall be heard, for Yahweh hath spoiled their pasture. And the peaceable habitations are cut down because of the fierce anger of Yahweh. He hath forsaken his covert as a lion, for their land is desolate because of the fierceness of the oppressor, and because of his fierce anger. Yeah, so everyone's getting punished here. Everyone is getting punished because of their evil and wickedness. He is using nations to punish the children of Israel. He's done that ever since they came into the land of that was promised to them, the land of Canaan, during the time of Judges. He used the Philistines a lot. He used other nations to rise up against the children of Israel when they disobeyed or when they went after other gods, and they took them captive for a bit. And then he would send a judge to go and help them, and then it was that cycle. Remember, it was a cycle. God would deliver them, they'd be good for a little bit, then they'd fall back and serve other gods, be captured again into slavery, and then cry out to God, and then another judge would rise up and help. So it's that cycle, that endless cycle during the time of Judges. So he used these evil nations to punish the children of Israel. He used evil people. God can use evil people, just not in the way we think. He uses evil people for his will. But that doesn't mean they're going to go unpunished. Most certainly not. Especially the biggest example is Babylon, the king of Babylon. He uses this king to severely punish the children of Israel, the kingdom of Judah. And but then he's like, yeah, well, after 70 years, they're going to be a desolation, a complete desolation. That's how much they're going to get punished. And then he's like, yeah, all these other countries and people are going to get punished too. So despite him using these nations that are evil, they're not going to go unpunished. So anyway, that's just showing how severe the children of Israel as a whole fell away from God and did so much evil that God's anger just kept building up. Even though God is rich in mercy, he is. Think about how long he's dealt with, and he's given chance after chance. Of course God is rich in mercy, but they would not hearken to God. They would not turn from their evil ways. I would say the majority would not. There were, obviously, we read about a few good kings in the kingdom of Judah, that did turn and serve God, but it wasn't enough to make God's, anger completely go away. It was more specific at that point. The people who served God truly with all their hearts, God blessed. The people the kings who didn't, God did not bless. And it's so clear cut. You serve God with all your heart, you will be blessed. And again, it's that whole not your timing, not your way, but you will be blessed. So that's just something that we can take, and apply to ourselves. Serve God with all your heart. Don't serve other gods. Don't serve other idols. Don't make anything on this earth your idol, whether it be, literal idols, like, American Idol or whatever. If it's celebrities, if it's actors, if it's wrestlers or sports people, whatever it may be, don't make anything your idol. No, just serve God and only God. Serve Him with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. So, great lessons to be learned in the Old Testament. So many great lessons. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great evening, morning, noon, wherever you're at. And remember to put God first in everything you do. Have faith in Him, have trust in Him, have hope in Him, wait upon Him, and you'll never be sorry. And God willingly, we'll see you tomorrow with more Bible reading. So thanks again. Take care and God bless.